Is my thing.
Yeah.
Five
Um,
seconds remaining.
I think Disruptor is always a little bit of a gamble, right? And you get these. You always have this nature with the hero where if you're ahead and you're constantly getting +1 kills with glimpse, it looks awesome, and you're like, wow, this Disruptor is winning them the game. And then when you're behind, and the Disruptor is just getting run at, and he's like trying to bomb out a random Static Storm kinetic field before he dies, then you're like, wow, this hero's doing nothing. The glimpse is completely useless. The one thing I will say for it this game is that I think it has decent matchups, and they've got the Hawk vision to play around. So long as the lanes go okay, which I think they, so far the lanes are looking fine, and they've got the Beastmaster to be the big controller of the early tempo and take those early objectives. I think that additional synergy is what they're really looking at leveraging here, and that's where they're going to have a little bit more power coming from.
No, I definitely I didn't remember the fact that the Hawks were there as well. That is going to be some added value there for that Disruptor with the glimpse, and see if it pays off. They're going to have a think about this fourth pickup now, IG. Spending quite a bit of reserve time here, but of course they need 2 more cores for themselves. What route do they go down, I wonder? You've still got the DP if you wanted to try go back into that, but maybe run in the mid lane instead. I personally just don't like the DP right now. I don't know. It's like you use Exorcism, and once it's down, it's down. And well, the Lycan comes out.
Oof. All right, IG are not messing around here. They're like, all right, Beastmaster Lycan, let's go. So we're gonna there's Wolves scouting as well. RNG do have a little bit of AoE control and damage with the Jakiro and whatnot, but not
10 seconds
not a ridiculous amount. And yeah, it does just seem like IG want to just play super fast. The other concern, I think, and maybe something to keep in mind here, is there is still the possibility of, like, if they don't feel like the offlane is playable, we could always end up seeing the Beastmaster sent mid from IG. And I guess the same is kind of true for the Mars here for RNG. Like, they've got this flexibility where if they want to, the Mars can just be the offlaner. And currently it looks like he would be just fine in that off lane, but also if they want to, they have that flexibility to be able to pick a different position 3 and put the Mars mid.
Yeah, no, definitely so. They do ban out the Storm for RNG as their final ban, and in all fairness, it probably would have been a rather free Storm game had it been picked up by IG. Of course, Emo himself loves running the Storm. I can tell you that. Though I've got to say, another hero, which I don't necessarily expect to be picked up, but another hero Emo does love running is the Invoker. Now, it doesn't really fit the meta, but I have seen some weird things happening with Invoker being picked up, getting those levels up to have Alacrity, and then with this already huge push lineup, adding Alacrity on top of that to kind of just speed up these tower pushes.
Yeah, I don't hate the Invoker here. It can protect the egg. Tornado can kind of set up for the Static Storm kinetic field, which is pretty nice.
10 seconds
so
remaining.
I could definitely see it. The EMP is really annoying for Mars and Ursa as well. They're both very reliant on their spells, but also don't necessarily have the best mana pools in the world. But IG just gonna go for what is currently looking like very much the safest bet when it comes to a lot of your core positions. Just gonna go for the Quap.
I just assumed she was already banned out. I didn't really even have a look. It's just, yeah, if she's there, you just take it. And, well, RNG now, their last pick, in all fairness, they don't necessarily have the greatest catch for that Quap, right? Like, you don't have a guaranteed way of locking her down either.
Yeah, it's in the same vein as the Storm Spirit got banned for a reason, and that reason is definitely that RNG just don't necessarily feel like they have the right kind of lockdown to deal with these instant mobility heroes. I don't know if they're necessarily going to fix that with the last pick. And I don't know if they're going to do it, but I still like this idea of, if the mid lane is not too punishing from RNG, this possibility of, like, the Quap could still end up off lane here, and then the Beastmaster just goes mid. Because I don't know what the Ursa would be able to do then, playing against, like, a Phoenix Quap dual off lane, because you have 0 kill potential. There's always going to be a dive or a blink away, and there's just going to be constant harassment. But
okay, they go the puck.
Going to go for the puck.
I mean, that kind of makes sense though, right? Like the Lycan, the Queen of Pain, it kind of, you kill two birds with one stone with that Dream Coil.
Yeah, no, the Puck is a really nice pick here.
Yeah,
for sure.
See how it goes. I guess I'll ask you, Basskip. In your opinion, who has the better draft?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's juicy. It's a juicy question to
Yeah,
ask.
that is a really tough one. I'm just trying to think who I feel has performed
Oh no
really well this series.
We can't consider that though. We're just purely based on
just
draft.
Okay, right. I think the drafts are I think they're quite close, but I think I'm favoring IG just a little bit on the draft.
It is kind of hard to deny Beastmaster Lycan on the same team. I will admit as well. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's just like if you mess up once as RNG, how much are you gonna lose, right? And if you get even a little bit behind, that's where this like all of this catch and the QoP and the disruptor and everything really starts to just like punish you and pick you to pieces. I think the drafts are pretty close, but I would definitely say that RNG have the harder game to play here.
Definitely so. I think they just have to be very careful. It's kind of like you said. If they lose just a little bit, or they fall behind just a little bit, you're losing buildings. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also situations here where like Flywin is kind of forced to make an attempt on on a hero, but if you're trying to go on the QoP and she just gets a blink away, or somebody survives through the arena, then it's very difficult to disengage against IG's lineup. So any fight that you commit to, you have to commit to it in a really intentional way. Like you really have to know what you're getting into. Otherwise, that's where you start taking these 1-for-3s, 1 for whatever. Oh, the wolf is trying to scout if there's a ward here, but Setsu's going to get the last hit for free. It's pretty nice.
It is very, very nice. So, I doubt we'll see any kind of attempt at trying to kill each other off this game. Unlike last game, where they were grouping up very, very early on. This time around, looks like they're both just going to chill out a little bit and just go for the 2-for-2 bounty rune trade. And as far as the lanes go as well, I was about to say they look very, very standard, but JT's currently sitting in mid lane. But he might just be there to get a decent block off for Emo.
Oh, I don't know. He's maybe. He's got the shared tangos, so maybe they decided to shift gears. Because this is what I was talking about, right? The being able to put the QoP. Like, what on earth is Ursa gonna do against QoP Phoenix dual lane?
That's actually very true, right? Like, you've got this Jakira that's gonna be there to help, but even then, like, you dual breath and that's it. You can't really contest Phoenix QoP. It's just
I think this is so much better actually, because the Puck has a pretty good mid lane matchup against the QoP anyway, so you're also avoiding that matchup. And Beastmaster, I think even if he loses on CS here on the mid lane, which I'm not even sure that he will, he's just gonna get all of the levels and like get the itemization that he wants to push the pace this game, and that's really what the IG lineup is all about. So this is cool.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Of course, that mid matchup means JT and Setsu are going to be up against each other, and, well, we just have to wait and see how that's going to pan out, but it's Beastmaster. He's arguably just going to be fine, assuming he doesn't give too many balls away to Setsu. Should be alright. The top lane seems pretty good for IG as well. Like, Flywin up against that Disruptor, I kind of commented in the drafting stage that the Disruptor can be a bit of a gamble, but I don't know. In this lane up against the Mars, I don't think they suffer that much.
What the RNG?
Yeah.
Oh no,
IG.
I think IG are going to be. I think they're perfectly happy with this laning setup. There's nothing to remove the Thunderstrike, so you're always just going to get the consistent damage, and the Wolves are so strong. So I guess the one thing that's a little annoying is that the God's Rebuke is pretty good against them, but that's about it.
That's it. bot lane. It's already you see Emo with the creep equilibrium his way. Just can safely farm underneath that tower, but Monet has to kind of try and do the same thing. Karka's just been roaming around through the Radiant jungle, not really soaking too much XP here off the Quap. Just giving her that priority.
Yeah, that and he went and actually blocked the small camp and de-warded the sentry that was put down by Super earlier. And he doesn't have a sentry anymore now, so that small camp is just going to be blocked for an eternity. And they're going to try and use the big camp here, but, you know, Kaka's already on the case. He's going to come drag it over. So
yeah, it's...
He is making all the right plays to win this bottom lane for his team. Because, like, dodging that experience meant that Emo now has level 3, so they've got the level 2 dagger to start spamming out.
Supporting 101 from Kaka. It's working out very nicely so far for Emo. Speaking of Emo, Basskip, I ask everyone about this, but what do you think about the Quap Arcana?
Ooh, yeah, I'm a fan. I think it's pretty well done. I don't know why they chose blue as the alternate color.
Like red seems better, right?
Yeah, well, I like the red, but also when you think about all of the various Arcanas, this Monet's taking a ton of damage. They're all like red and blue, right? Earthshaker is or orange and blue. Like orange and blue. Jug is also orange and blue. Like, why not just make Quap purple or something, right?
Right.
Like, why did Valve just hit on orange and blue with Portal, and then they were like, all right, we've cracked it, boys. This is it. This is the color scheme that gamers want.
It seems like they may have. They tried to make a jump there onto Emo, but he had the blink the whole time. Eventually, we'll just salve up, and Kaka is going to take a fair bit of damage on that Phoenix, but he'll be alright as well. He's got plenty of tangos to use up, and he'll salve up just to save himself some efficiency. And well, we'll see that large camp being pulled again, this time by Monet, but he misses 2 creeps. That doesn't really... It's just such a rough lane for this Ursa. And, well, top lane, at the very least, for RNG. Flyone does get first blood onto Ollie.
Alright, nice. What's it? They got a... Looks like they got a spear into an arrow, and then...
September, though. Look at these wolves.
He dead to wolves?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's getting chased down. He does die before he gets to the Roshan. That's literally Zoo meta in a nutshell. Like, it's not even the heroes chasing you anymore. It's just units.
That's pretty nice for Fly.
Yeah.
It turns out to be not such a big deal that they give away the first blood there. Though they did it was first blood on the Mars. That's going to be pretty nice for him getting the faster phase.
No, absolutely.
To be able to put on a little bit more pressure. Bounty rune's coming up.
And they will get 2 at the top lane, and well, bot lane they're not even being contested. Kaka will just take a casual fly over there and just take the other 2. So it's another even trade. September though looks like he might try and rotate mid on the Mirana and see if he can land an arrow there onto JT. And Setsu's going to get vision here with this Invis rune now. Does show himself, and it looks like he just wants to go after those boars. He takes 1, and September won't even bother sticking around, I don't believe. He's back.
So there is a dire obs, so I don't know if this is... He knows.
He knows about it, sure. He's using the creeps to block the arrow's angle that he had, and September will just be forced to leap away. You were right, there was an obs ward that actually scouted that out. I didn't quite realize at the time, but JT just, I suppose, wasting September's time.
Yeah, pretty much. And Dreamcrawl down now, so the side lanes don't have really anything to worry about. Emo can play super aggressively at bottom, knowing that there's no counter rotation potential really from the puck. And Ursa is he's donezo with this lane. Mona has just gone straight into the jungle. I mean, he's not even level 4 just yet. As he snags this creep, he will get it, but just goes to show you how rough his game is in the safe lane. And I keep seeing this happen. And I think this is a big part of what feels like kind of ridiculous about the Beastmaster is that there's all these there's all these hypothetical counter picks, and then the hero can just always go mid, even in the face of the counter pick. So I see like Beastmaster comes out, Enchantress gets picked, Beastmaster goes mid, Beastmaster just does Beastmaster things anyway.
Yeah, it just doesn't affect him. Like, no matter what you draft, he just doesn't care. I want to ask you though, like that Home of the Dominator build on this Beastmaster. I mean, I understand it's pretty standard stuff. I kind of comment on whether it's worthwhile though up against the Mirana, who can just arrow that creep down and get 200 gold every time. Is it still a thing to do?
The creep is pretty fast.
Right.
Right. And they don't really have any way that's like going to guaranteed set up on it. So I think the that and the Dominator aura is just too ridiculously good on the boars. Like, I don't even think it's really about the creep so much for Beastmaster, that just Dominator as an item, everything else that it provides is so good on this hero.
That's fair enough. Bot lane, there's Super going down, Emo just committing the Sonic Wave, and it's a very easy kill. I mean, we kind of talked about that, but if Super's just going to be left alone like that, Emo's going to have, you know, pretty much free food the whole time he sits in this lane. But I suppose for Monet, he can't really make his way back down. But they have committed that arena, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he got glimpsed, and then I don't even know if the spear connected, so they still want him dead. I don't know if anyone's coming to help Oli, but
it looks like he's gone. They'll just commit. They'll take the kill for themselves. Easy. And, well, bot lane, there is some rotations now coming in. Emo's going to show up once again on that Quap. Fly, of course, there as well. And does have the Necro 1 as well as a double damage rune active right now. And, well,
Super's looking at this double damage Lycan and he's sweating. They're calling in some backup, but all right, here's Setsu.
Dream Coil gonna be there onto the Quap. Emo in trouble with the Silence as well, and a nice path. He's still alive, however. He'll blink out of there, but does die to Super's dot damage. And now Fly, well, he can at least get the trade on the support. He wants to try after September, but he's taken too much damage from that puck. And that'll be it. He walks out of there. Setsu, though, is not done. And Fly is not done either. He finds September. So, 2 more supports going down. Setsu's still around the area on the puck. But they surely are done now. Or maybe not. JT's got Roar up, and he's there. No, they're done.
He's been looking for a nice creep, but I think he's probably looking for the Alpha Wolf, but hasn't spotted one just yet. I think that the Quap could have maybe survived, but Emo just not spamming the bottle sips while those last couple of ticks of the dual breath were on him. Maybe not realizing that it was a level 3 dual breath, so actually does a ton of damage. Even with holding on to bottom, like mid tower still takes some damage off of the Beastmaster, and IG still very much the ones dictating the pace of the game currently.
Setsu, Dream Coil bot lane. Emo walks right into the Silence. Setsu just commits the kill there, and now Emo still trying to fight back, but he's kind of surrounded. He'll blink out. Now Fly coming in. He's running straight through the Macro Pyre though, going back in as well.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Fly gets Super with the Wolves again, and now JT gonna go for the Roar.
Alright, everyone's just trading in the Radiant jungle. So I don't know if Lycan needed to die there, but you know, they want to hold on to their buildings. They don't want to let IG just set up and get these objectives for free. Kaka's kind of trying to do the same thing at top, holding on against Flywind, who's pushing in with the catapult.
Setsu climps back. That's going to be a big kill. Sonic Wave, no, he avoided it again with the phase shift, but it won't matter. He'll go down anyway. And IG, they've wanted to make this push down to this bot lane for so long now. It looks like they'll finally get it underway. Emo's just going to TV back mid on the Quap as well. Just not going to waste his creep wave. And they're going to try and defend. They do drop the Macro Pyre. Flywind's here as well. And Moonlight Shadow was popped, but IG, they actually don't get away with the push.
Yeah, this macro pyre's been pretty useful, and they're investing. Well, it's not a huge investment, but Super's running around with the Fated Brooch at the moment, which to me, you know, does say something. Given that there are other cores in this game that don't have a neutral item, but they just want to make sure that they can constantly use this dual breath. That they've always got the macro pyre available for the deep push, and it is buying them a lot of time. Right, they've still got their mid tier 1 and their bottom tier 1 standing, and you can see from IG this is not the way that they were anticipating that this would go. They really thought that they would just be able to come down and get this tier 1 for free.
Here we go again. Wolf Form, Glimpse, Static Storm, and Kinetic Field all dropped onto this Mars. So they easily kill off Flywin, and it's back after that tier 1 tower. And this time around, there won't be a defense coming out. They'll just let it go down, and well, as we're kind of used to by this point, it goes down darn quick.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
RNG.
Yeah, okay, so this is what IG were, this is kind of what they were expecting to do. But the fact that it's 12 minutes and they've only just taken the first tower, credit to RNG using their spam and their deep push pretty well. Monet going for an early Roshan here with the Morbid Mask, and I think this might catch IG off guard a little bit.
It's working.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
People normally do not get this many points in overpower early on, right? But his lane was garbage, and he was like, well, I guess I'm not really using Earthshock to get any kills, so may as well get a couple of points in overpower and just get myself a free Rosh.
Can't disagree with that. It's it
nice.
works.
Very nice play. And now with the, I mean, I don't know if this Aegis is really going to end up amounting to too much for him, but he can just run at heroes. Like, you look at him running at Emo here. If he didn't have the Aegis, that would be a little bit more tenuous of a play, but
I guess in some other ways, well, you're kind of denying the Aegis off the IG lineup because they can Rosh fairly easy.
Oh yeah,
well.
for sure. They've got good, they've got plenty of Roshan damage for sure.
Well, Monet's going to go after the tier 1 now. Emo maybe hopes for a deny, and he does get it. Arrow, almost there from September, doesn't quite land, and now Moonlight Shadow was popped as RNG. Might try and turn this this little chase that was going on into a team fight onto IG. They won't find anybody though. It's just Setsu trying to kill some balls again.
Oh man, that's a really interesting ward. I haven't really seen that one before. So they cut down all the trees on the back of this camp, and then they put the ward, like the obs, just outside of the spawn box. So he caught it, but that's a clever one for sure.
I haven't seen that either.
Jump
You
in
see
there.
IG now fighting. They do get a roar off. It is going to be onto Flywin, and Flywin does die, but now September does turn around and get JT as well. Emo trying to chase down the Mirana. Arrow going to connect pretty darn well, but Fly is a very, very fast wolf right now, and September doesn't have any way to leap out. However, now Monet's come in. Egg has been dropped, but it seems to just be able to get out of here, and well, it's not going to work anyway. The Dream Core comes in from Setsu. They might even keep going after Kaka. He does have the Icarus dive though and should be okay. RNG, they still pretty much find an even trade here.
Yeah. I don't think an even trade is what they were hoping for. Really, they just wanted the freebie on the Beastmaster, but he's pretty tanky. Survived for a little longer than they would have maybe hoped. And still, though, they got what they came for. I think they wanted a free kill on the mid tower, and sure they give a little bit away, but still got the objective in the end.
Absolutely. And so RNG, I mean, they're looking great right now. They've got a slight net worth lead, but you talked about it briefly a few minutes ago. The fact that the Lycan BM has only got a 1 tier 1 tower so far, it's just not good news. Like, they're behind in towers now on the side of IG.
Yeah. They've got the Necro 3 now, but no shapeshifts for a little while to really make a play with it. And RNG getting pretty aggressive. Monet popping and then Rage here.
Yep, it's questionable. September, meanwhile, apparently killing off Emo down at the bot lane, and that was off the back of Setsu's Dream Coil. Why would you pop in Rage there? Like, because there's still the threat of getting glimpsed back, is there not?
Yeah, I don't know what was what the thought process was necessarily. He does still have the Aegis, so really not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they killed Emo at the bot lane as well, so it's like, really,
yeah,
who cares? We just wasted an ulti. It's back up in 15 seconds. IG, I don't know, like this draft, I love the idea, but it's not being executed right now. And, well, RNG, more so I would say RNG is just doing such a great job of holding them back. And up against this Ursa, eventually he's going to be a real problem. Like, he's going for the Sanjin Yasha, not opting for the Battle Fury again, just wanting that, seems like that status resist build that we see every single time on these Ursas. And once it's completed, like, once you've got those couple core items up, I don't know how you deal with them anymore. Like, you've still got this crazy amount of push, but...
Yeah, he's just gonna absorb all the spells, no problem. IG definitely looking to make a play here. They've got the... I don't know, I thought that they would when they had the next shapeshift, but Flyfly's already popped the Necrobook, just kind of for a little bit of farm, so... Maybe feeling like they need the next item on a couple of heroes. They do have the Orchid coming out right this second for the Queen of Pain.
Okay.
So I thought that might kind of be go time, and okay, they are grouping up for a smoke currently.
That's cool. Orchid up. JT has the Roar, of course, to start this team fight, but RNG are currently just really standing quite far away. The Aegis will expire, however, so there's been no better time for IG to fight than now. However, Super does get spotted, has some raindrops, and now Arena comes out. They know he blinked in. He drops a Sonic Wave, but it won't matter. Monet is there to clean up. That wolf form was expended by Flyfly. They're going to try and go after Monet. Enrage is not available, and he does not have the Aegis, so he does go down. The Ice Path just not really helping out, and well, Super could be in danger, though no Dream Core coming out, and now the Roar being committed on the puck with that Static Storm. Egg being dropped as well. Setsu's still okay, though. He'll be out of there. He just orbs out. They don't have the damage, and now they'll turn again. Flyfly is going to be in trouble. They'll all walk out of here. Kaka will just dive his way out. And I really did think the Static Storm committal and the Roar would be enough setup to burst down Setsu, but apparently not.
Yeah, I don't think they had any of their summons left. I think they kind of all got cleaned up early in the fight, so didn't have enough damage. I was going to praise JT for some really good patience. He had the opportunity to like roar and just get the free kill on the Jakiro if he wanted it, but was waiting for the puck to make his move, and I thought that they'd gotten him, and then that would have been the fight won, but it was just a little bit tankier than maybe they expected, and RNG still holding on to this mid-tier 1 tower. It's at 19 minutes into this game. It's exactly what you want to see if you're an RNG fan.
Oh, it's bloody impressive, for sure. And done a great job of really maintaining this game and maintaining control of this game. Got Monet now going for a BKB. Very early on that Ursa, but I can't quite blame him. I think it's just fine. And
yeah, this itemization kind of gets forced, I think, by the Orchid and the Static Storm, right? There's just... He can't really rely on like just raw status resistance to get him through this game. I just smoked up again, wanting to make... I mean, the other thing for that fight is that Emo doesn't really get to do anything. He gets a good Sonic Wave off, but dies without really making very good use of the Orchid. So I think he's itching to get some kind of a play in this upcoming fight.
Absolutely. Flyfly, they're going to go in. Arena of Blood is there, but JT gets the Roar off. They did commit a spear, but it didn't really land, and now Flyfly going to go after that Mars, will secure the kill. Now they'll go for another. It's going to be Super on the Jakiro, of course getting bursted down quite fast by that Wolf. And now, they may make the push happen.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about with the Mars, right? He's like... He does need to continue making plays, and like if he gets that spear and he gets the pick off, then sure, it looks like a good play. It just bought his team another couple of minutes to farm BKB on the Ursa. But the instant that whiffs, the fight is just completely over, and someone else is always going to die pretty much to the glimpse. So finally, IG breaking down that mid tower that we were just singing RNG's praises about.
Classic caster's curse kicking in.
Yeah.
Looks like Monet's having a quick glance into the Roshan pit, hoping for an early one, but it's going to be 1 minute away. So you'd imagine this time around, IG definitely won't be willing to just give that Roshan away. They'll probably be keeping a very close eye on that.
Yeah, just probably spam Hawks, right, or Wolves in the vicinity. It's not, don't really have to invest too much.
Definitely don't. He's already sent a Hawk out, I believe, and well, they have the Wolves there anyway.
Yeah, I do kind of wish, again, that... I guess it's hard. You know, there's a bunch of sentries around in the Radiant Jungle, but I feel like IG need at least one ward on this bottom side of the map. Even though Roshan is the next big objective, if they just have one ward at bottom, gives them the information if they forced anybody back there.
Glimpse is there, but September, of course, going to just start leaping away. They are going to chase him down, however. Kaka, he has a Yules up on that Phoenix, and September is out of leaps, but he'll just TP out in front of him and gets away. Now the Roar was there as well. Onto Setsu with a Static Storm. He should go down, and he does. And Fly, seeing that puck dying, knows it's open feeding time, I guess, for Fly, but the Moonlight Shadow does save him. And now the Roshan does respawn. Perfect timing for IG.
It's pretty nice. It's dropping fast, but RNG are coming over. They got this max out Ice Path.
They will commit it, but it only hits the Roshan to make matters worse. Monet jumps in. Emo's got the Aegis, however. Fly pops zone BKB. Ek being dropped as well. Monet's trapped up in that kinetic field, though. No! Fly, he dies to the Ursa. They will get the trade, and they get the glimpse back on September as well. He still has no leap charges, so he is dead. And ultimately, IG, maybe he didn't need to lose the Lycan, but it's a great team fight.
I think Lycan ended up with the, well, maybe Cheese got stuck in the backpack or something, but yeah, it goes down, but still very, very nice for IG. And just a little bit of lucky timing, all things considered, that they just happened to be in the area with everything popped to quickly grab it. But now the momentum is starting to shift. And RNG maybe not respecting IG enough here as they come out on the map, though. They are showing the Quappa bottom. So the big damage dealer not there currently.
Definitely not. It's definitely getting to that dangerous kind of period here for RNG. Monet, got to be careful down at that bot lane. There are a lot of heroes around him. They jump in with the Orchid. He still doesn't have that BKB, and now with the Static Storm, he will definitely not escape.
Yeah, and they smoked right on top of a Hawk. So, IG
no.
hunting for more.
Oh, they'll know. They'll rush in. Setsu trying to get out of there. Flywin commits the God's Rebuke, but they just want super. Nice spear, but you have the unit still chasing him. They'll have to commit the arena to make sure super gets out of there. But the tier 2 tower can't be protected, and that'll probably almost definitely just die.
It's just gonna get melted. This is his 2 level 3 Necrobooks as well.
They glyph it, but it really just means nothing. They don't care. It doesn't... Glyphing tier 2 towers isn't the same when it's like in Beastmaster.
No. And yeah, they just don't have any way to get in there and defend that, but just slows them down a little bit. They might get the reset if top ever gets pushed. But they desperately need this BKB on the Ursa. Monet's just getting cleaned up for free. Setsu shifting gears a little bit as well. Goes for the Boots of Travel. So I think feeling like his role in this game is becoming, all right, I just have to go and be as aggressive as I possibly can with the split pushing and buy some time. Try and let my Ursa get back into the game a little bit, because at this point, having lost 2 or 3 team fights in a row, they're just not in a position where they can actually win a team fight. So they have to just play for the split push game and hope that Ursa can kind of come back once he gets BKB Basher or something.
I can't really disagree with that sentiment either. It does kind of feel that way. And mid lane JT, he has blink up. Orchid is there on the Mirana. They haven't blinked into Raw yet. Still very patient with this. They may just go after the tower. They may not want to fight this, and they won't. Just take the tower. Ignore them.
Yeah, so they can take the tower, and now they can go and just sit up here and like catch 2 waves from top. Maybe send somebody to go and push this out directly if they want to, but they're making their decision. So they are going to leave a couple of people behind here for a moment and just backdoor the top tier 1 quickly.
Very, very easy stuff for JT. Yeah, they will set up to start creep skipping with the units. What I mean, is that split push game the only thing you can do as RNG now? To buy Monet's space? Like, there's no real other option, right?
They had to get the BKB, so
yeah,
they really had to wait for that. Oh, Monet.
trouble.
He doesn't have TP, but
Be fine. Dream Coil's out for now. He jumps back in after the egg, but he's been disarmed. Now Sonic Wave and Raw being committed. They are protecting that egg, but it is gonna make it just barely. Now Arena comes out. It's a huge arena with the Macro Pie. They do get 2 of them straight off the bat. Fly forced to eat the cheese, running through the arena to get out of here. Emo respawns with the Aegis now, going back onto that Ursa. Monet's fighting back though. Emo's about to die. He will be able to blink away just barely with that BKB, but Setsu is on the chase. Yule's up now. How do you get out of this, Emo? He blinks straight towards Setsu. Orb's gonna fly through, does connect, and they secure the kill. And they made it work, this team fight.
well, there you go. That was having the BKB on the Ursa. Monet finally gets the opportunity to do some big damage, and yeah, they just didn't quite manage to focus anybody down properly on the IG side. I thought when the egg popped, they were going to be just fine, but I guess it didn't really stun anybody. And then huge combo with the like 3-man ice path and the arena and just cleaning everyone up. They're in
very deep Dream Coil, but they do get Ollie, and they're going after that tier 3 tower. Well, it's been glyphed up now. Maybe they have to turn around though. No, they still have a range creep there. It does get killed off, but they're still going. Buyback's coming out. Ollie will commit, and that'll be enough for RNG to say, we got to back off. And well, they don't really have too much of a choice anyway. JT split pushing that bot lane, very close to that high ground. And surprisingly enough, RNG actually glyphs that tower.
So he accidentally TP'd on the creep instead of the tower. And so he had to glyph it to get the TP to complete successfully.
Alright, he'll go after this Beastmaster. Raw is available, but Flyone's going to be there. Missed the spear, however. Raw committed. He tries the TP play, but of course they have the Yules and they have the Ice Path and even the Arrow. And so RNG will be able to get the kill onto JT.
Well, it was a nice attempt. He's really got the sidesteps against poor Flywin in this game, but yeah, this is... So we pretty much completely neutralized the net worth lead. Experience is now kind of on RNG's side. Roshan's still a while away, but that's certainly the next big objective, especially given that it's Roshan number 3 for the game.
We'll go down to that bot lane, and looks like RNG will just try and maybe take an easy tier 1 tower for themselves.
They do have the Ags now complete on the Puck, which, you know, the BKBs have been helping out IG a lot in these last couple of fights, and all of a sudden those are not so reliable. And that's going to really... That element of control is going to let the Ursa do a ton of damage in the fights.
Well, they're going to smoke up side
They're
of
not all
IG.
together, though. Beastmaster's still on his way over from bottom.
It's a risky fight to try and take without all your teammates, but they're going to try with the Glimpse and Static Storm Kinetic Field, all being committed on the Mirana. Wolf Form even pop, but there's that Aghanim Scepter Dream Coil. They may not have realized yet. Sonic Wave flies out as well. Flyone cops it. He drops the arena, leaving the Ursa to jump back in. Now Arrow flying through, not connecting on anyone, but they found Kaka on the Phoenix. Fly just trying to run in circles right now, but he can't. He'll end up dying. Monet finding a double, and now they'll find a third. Emo also goes down, and well, it's kind of like how you said it. That Dream Coil with the Aghanim Scepter, it really does change some things.
Yeah, the Lycan just couldn't really do anything. He ended up snapping the coil. The Beastmaster was just not in that fight, really, at all. And now RNG just kind of going from strength to strength. They're easily cleaning out the summons every single fight, just with all of their AoE, so the Lycan is really not outputting that much damage. And, well, it does seem like IG just kind of falling back onto split pushing, but I think RNG just forced the high ground here, no problem.
Yeah,
there is a glyph.
They got the Orb of Destruction there as well on Monet, which really does help. JT is still pushing though, that mid lane going down quite fast. They've got to make a decision here. The decision has been made apparently. Keep going, Setsu will TP back and take care of the defense. And, well, Dream Coil just blindly committed into the tree line, hoping to find somebody, but he gets nothing. Still, he'll defend that tier 3 mid, and the bottom racks will go down to RNG. However, Monet getting glimpsed back now, but he'll turn around into Kaka, eventually just earth-shocking himself out of the kinetic field, but they'll keep the jump on. Emo Gonna get the Orchid off now. Forcing the BKB from Monet. Fly is chasing with the Wolf form. Monet should still be alright as Flywind has blinked in now with the arena. However, Static Storm, Egg all being dropped. This looks kind of bad here for RNG, or maybe not. They'll just keep going. They get the Egg. Karkar's down, and now September dies as well, but Emo's getting very, very low. The Ursa, Monet will end up eventually tying, but what did it cost? They may lose their Lycan here. They will. Speed does connect. And ultimately, it ends up in a 2-for-2.
So really nicely done by Ursa. Manages to get the enrage off a split second before the roar hits him. So really had to invest a lot to finish off that kill, and then that lets the puck finally connect from the other side of the fight, and they successfully kill off the egg. Now a little bit of trouble for Kaka.
Yeah, he's got Icarus Dive unless he gets silenced, and he does, but he'll use up. Dream Coil, however, catches out Emo now. A nice Sonic Wave, but he needs some help. Macropie to be dropped. Silencer as well. Super will die on the Jakiro, and they can't actually finish off the job. In fact, there's that glimpse coming back now. Flywind goes to the TP play. He should make it out. He will. Well, this game is still very back and forth.
Yeah, and we just kind of accelerated the clock towards this next Roshan being the next big objective, and it is just about to respawn. The ping's coming out. The Hawk is already there, scouting it. So we'll just have to see which team ends up claiming the prize. Both teams definitely need to go over there and get some wards up if they have any available. Yeah, there's one on Oli, and there's two on September. So yeah, let the Roshan standoff begin, basically. Though there is this lane of racks already taken bottom, so there will be constant pressure from RNG. And that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for IG.
Smoke up. IG's going to try and maybe either sneak this Roshan or get a decent team fight
they've got the Wolves scouting.
No, it's dangerous though. Emo, BKB's up. Setsu, he jumps in, but there's that Static Storm now. Setsu. Oh, he goes down so quick, and now Fly just going to chase down the rest. Monet will turn around and try to fight this early on. Fly still just trying to get somebody as a secondary kill. Fly will pop the BKB now, going after the Beastmaster instead. And it looks like they will be able to get this kill into JT, though. No, he gets the roar off in time, but it's going to mean nothing. In fact, Monet, he continues going on towards Ollie. Ice Path connects as well. They'll get the secondary. Buyback is there from JT. It's a messy team fight between both these two, but RNG did come out on top. And can they defend this though?
Emo died to September underneath the tier 2 tower. They went chasing after the Mirana, and I think just with that little bit of extra like Guardian Greaves armor and regen, it was just too difficult to finish him off, especially being under the tower for the bonus armor, and so got forced into a pretty bad trade. And with that, RNG just, hey, our Ursa's still alive, let's just go take Roche, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll get it. Monet's actually got the Refresher Shard now up as well on the Ursa. So,
yeah, I guess they don't really have the most amazing heroes to use it, so, you know, 2 BKBs, 2 Enrages sounds pretty good on the Ursa.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Aghanim Scepter now up as well on Flywood. So, that God's Rebuke is going to be quite painful now every 3.5 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be really nice.
Up against all the units as well of IG, like, you can just clear them out so much easier now. It's, I kind of wonder as well, have IG just, has it taken too long? We're 35 minutes in there, 13k net worth behind. This draft, it kind of feels like the time has ended.
Yeah, they've definitely run out of steam, right? Especially with having the Beastmaster mid, he's only got so much scaling potential. He's trying to go for an Ags here as like a, all right, maybe this can be the answer for us. There are still ways for them to win. Like the Disruptor Ags is a really big game changer. Of course, if they can get a Supernova down successfully, that's also potentially team fight winning. But it's much harder for them at this point, and yeah, Lycan is starting to become less and less of a hero, and they are kind of resorting to a little bit more split push. Double catapult wave down here at bottom, so that is going to require a response from RNG.
That it will, and we'll have Setsu once again taking care of it on the puck. He'll take care of it just fine as that mid lane is still being pushed in here. Monet might just back off after that tier 3. No, he wants to keep going for more. His team was kind of far away, but now they have caught up. And, well, in all fairness, they don't have creeps anyway. And here comes Firefly. He pops the wolf form straight after September. They get the roar off on Super, however, and they do secure that kill. He'll buy back immediately. Now Firefly falling very, very low on that Lycan. Has to back out. And with that, I mean, if you have a creep wave there in the mid lane, you just keep going, right? If you're RNG.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to. The arena is not that big of a cooldown that you're really going to have to wait for it, and they just want to go straight for it. He's already popped the Refresher Shard.
They got the Quap in that Dream Coil. Arena as well being dropped, although the spear connects on Kaka, who's out of the arena, but it doesn't matter. They've killed off Emo, they've killed off Ollie. He'll buy back immediately on the Disruptor, but now Firefly, he's not really that mobile without that wolf form, and he is gonna die. He has buyback, but it's probably not worth the time, and
GG.
that's it. They've called it. That'll be a 2-1 for the side of RNG this series.
Man. Really well played by RNG. It is ridiculous to me that Ursa can go jungle at level 3 and like still have the game that he did. You know, maybe there has to be a little bit of finger pointing at IG for letting him get away with those like free Roshans. Because I really don't think that well, at least that first one, you know, I don't know if that should necessarily happen, but it is difficult to stop. And yeah, RNG just kind of grinding it out. Setsu had a great game. The last pick worked out the way that they were expecting it to. And I really think, especially the Jakiro pick, working wonders this game. Like, Super just being able to constantly spam out those high-level dual breaths and the macro pyre really slowed down the game. And IG, like we said, weren't able to take that mid tower until like 19 minutes or something.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Super really was that kind of unspoken hero of this game. Really just buying enough time to actually be able to fight back.
I mean, look at his hero damage. He did more hero damage than the Ursa.
Oh,
as the position 5. Like, if that doesn't speak
too.
volumes,
that's kind of insane. 12k damage with macro pyre. Wow.
Yeah. Well, so the puck bought the veil as well, right? So anyone that got coiled and veiled, and then they just dropped the macro pyre on top of them. It's like, what do you do, right? And often the macro pyre was like covering almost all of the area that you had to play with in the dream coil. So it's just like, well, no matter where I stand, I'm on fire. Very nicely played by RNG.
I agree. And with that, Basskip, that's it for us tonight. I believe you're coming back tomorrow again for that second series? Perfect.
Yep, for sure.
I love hearing it. In that case, it's been MLP Dota and Basskip. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you all again tomorrow night for some more great Chinese Dota. We'll see you then.